And that.
For my mother, so I understand there were this.
God damn it,
Lower
man.
your ability. Yanni, her granddaughter.
Happened before police arrived.
It was absolutely wrongdoing on both sides.
Tonight we are live in McKinney on a night of protests and reflection as the city comes to terms with a disturbing piece of video. Behind me, that's the McKinney Police Department. Tonight it's at the center of a firestorm of questions and protests.
Yeah, and behind those walls they have added extra operators to handle complaint calls. There is one new one every 12 seconds now. It all has to do with this video. McKinney officer Eric Casebolt pulls a gun on teens after a disturbance at a private pool party on Friday. Casebolt is on paid leave and the incident under investigation. We have team coverage tonight from the neighborhood pool where it all happened and police headquarters. Ken Kaltoff is live there right now to explain what this department is dealing with. Ken?
People in McKinney demand a strong response from police on this. They delivered their complaints here at headquarters and to McKinney city leaders over at City Hall. Concerned residents confronted the McKinney mayor and council members today at a meeting scheduled long before the pool party controversy erupted.
It's hard to justify a child. She was not bigger than my own, being thrown to the ground for calling for my mother. So I understand there were events that led up to that, but it's hard for me to imagine.
The family of 15-year-old Dejeria Becton, seen in that video, is hiring a lawyer and declines further comment. But others who saw what happened have plenty to say.
At the end of the day, the behaviors that we observe are completely unacceptable for anyone who occupies a position where he possesses the ability to exercise lethal force. That's the truth.
This man's daughter was seen in the video trying to come to the other girl's aid.
This officer recklessly attacked this young lady who was following his instruction to leave.
Those speaking at headquarters demanded the officer's job. Charges dropped against a young man who was cited and sensitivity training for McKinney police.
We are definitely going to allow due process to happen, but we are going to do that with our eyes on it.
My goal at this point is let's understand that we have that investigation going on. There will be an outcome to that investigation, and in the meantime, let's bring the community together.
The mayor promises to take input from all segments of this town, but solutions may not come quickly here. Officer Casebolt gets 5 days to respond to the complaint, and then the chief gets 3 more after that to respond, and lawyers are circling. Reporting live in McKinney, Ken Kaltoff, NBC5.
Ken, thank you. Well, right now we are learning more about what happened before police arrived, including why they were called, who was attending that party, and what witnesses say set off that frenzy. For that, let's check in with NBC5's Amanda Guerra at Craig Ranch Pool, where all of this went down. Amanda?
Well, Bianca, I can tell you there is a ton of backlash in the community here, both from people who are furious about that officer's actions, but also from people who were at the pool that day and say the teens were way too rowdy. Now, I spoke with people who were at the pool when that party was going on. The teens I talked to say it was an end-of-the-year school party, and they all showed up for a barbecue hosted by a teen who lives here in the Craig Ranch area. Now, an adult who lives here in Craig Ranch tells me if you live here and you're a resident, you are only allowed 2 guests per person inside the pool. So when this party was going on, the security guards started going around telling some of the teens that they had to leave. Well, that is when I am told several fights broke out. The cops showed up, and that is when we saw Corporal Eric Casebolt pull out his gun and throw that 15-year-old girl to the ground. We spoke to 2 people who witnessed the whole thing.
She was walking away clearly in the video that you saw. Even though that she was running her mouth when she should have been quiet, she still ran up on her and grabbed her hand and slammed her on the ground like that. Of course, when he pulled his gun out, yes, that did concern me. So again, I understand the frustration. But let's not take a 7-minute clip and base all facts and everything off that when it was a 30-minute ordeal. Because they didn't see the kids jumping over the fence. They didn't see the people cursing, the kids cursing out the security guard. They didn't see the kids when they actually scattered and ran.
Now, the mom of the girl who hosted the party, we spoke with her. She says she had permission from the HOA to have all of those teenagers out here at the pool. Well, I called the HOA today several times to see if they did in fact grant her permission for that party. So far, I have not heard back from them. We're live in McKinney, Amanda Guerra in BC5.
Thank you, Amanda. Right now, protesters are gathering in McKinney, some at the police station, others at Comstock Elementary School, with plans to march to the North Craig Ranch neighborhood pool, where all this happened on Friday night. NBC5's Ray Vieta is at the school right now. So, Ray, what is the scene there?
Brian, a couple of dozen protesters have gathered here at this school, and not just protesters, we're also seeing some police officers show up to this school. I want to paint a picture of what we're seeing and what we've seen since we got here. A lot of folks are carrying signs, and a lot of folks are even putting these signs on their car, like this person right here. These aren't the only signs that we're seeing, though. Right across the street, there was a sign supporting police officers, and the other thing that we're seeing is barricades. There are barricades on several corners here in this neighborhood. I've spoken to some folks in this neighborhood. They're hoping for the best, and so are these folks, that these protests are calm. And as you said, what they're planning to do is they're going to leave the school here in about 15 to 25 minutes. Then they're going to walk about a mile to the pool where this unfolded on Friday night. What they will do after that, it's unclear. We understand there's been some confusion between these groups whether or not to meet up here at the school or the police department, but right now it appears that they're meeting here at the school, and you can see that by the minute the amount of people showing up with signs is growing. Police officers are patrolling not just this parking lot, but we've seen them patrolling around the neighborhood. We're live in McKinney this evening. I'm Ray Vieta, NBC5.
I know you'll be watching it for us. Thank you, Ray.